I'm Vash, and today we're going to be doing faster than fast, or the mechanics of speed within cone fighting. And so I have little notes here that I'm going to reference. It helps keep me on track because I'm smart enough to know I'm dumb. So I'm about to make like the first wild take, and we're going to get right into it. So speed is actually alive in our game. I joke a lot about being like faster than fast and everything. That stems from why would speed be alive? The speed is just body mechanics, innate muscle memory, and mental perception. I feel like the first two are pretty self-explanatory. Body mechanics, for instance, would be how we stand. I can generate more speed by using my right hip to throw with my left hand like this, right? I can be faster than I would if I just stood straight up and went, that's as far as I can go, right? Versus innate muscle memory is the ability to do that in the same area on repeat, right? So if I know I want to go to like a shoulder on someone, even as their height changes, the muscle memory is already there because I saw enough people of different heights, right? So I can like close my eyes and literally be like shoulder here, and then like that's just muscle memory. The ability to do that. You want to like operate off of muscle memory more to be faster. And that's why I tell people, a lot of people kind of beat themselves up because they'll get shown something in the game and then they'll go, I can't do it like that person does it. And I'm like, cool, that person has done that 1,000 times. That person is using muscle memory, not skill per se. The skill is the ability to know when to apply said muscle memory. But it is not what makes the fighter just good. They are skillful because they know when to use what they have in their muscle memory bank. Not because they're just innately gifted by God. That's me, no one else. The next one is mental perception, which is a concept that's important to understand that is not talked about like at all in our game. But that is the idea that like, even as you play this game, you'll actually, I talk to people about it. There'll be a cup on a counter. You own a cat, there's a dicks, they knock the cup off the counter. You're like right over here doing something while they're hanging out, right? And you're just like, well, bam, you catch that cup. Before, you probably missed that cup. I've seen a lot of people miss cups in my life that don't LARP. LARPers a lot of times catch the cup. The reason why is because you've fought hand blocks and stuff. Your mental perception just kind of kicks in on a subconscious level and you are faster than you know. You have grown adjusted. There is a theory in boxing of how you fight up ranks is because you need to continuously play with people at your level. And this is something I tell people about like sparring to get faster. Fight people at your level to train shots, but go find someone who's like a higher skill fighter, spar them over and over again. They're going to help increase your mental perception. You may take the 10 L's in a row, but what you're doing is helping your mind learn to see how they're throwing. I tell people I came from Amguard, where we have really fast sticks. So much like boxing, when they learned that like this is faster than this, and boxing became faster, in Amguard, when I first came over to Bellegarde, I literally was like, man, a lot of like only play Bellegarde in their career people are slow AF because they've only fought at like heavier weapon sticks. They only know how to go this fast. They mentally don't perceive the idea of just going faster, of seeing faster. Don't like the log on there. So that's the idea of why speed is a lot. No one is faster than you. They just have those three things locked in. They're either using better body mechanics, right, with their body. They have their muscle memory, and also they may just be perceiving at a higher level, which is like a fun thing to train. I enjoy it, but it is a thing that exists. They've done studies on boxing. Come at me. The next thing I was going to cover is to feint for distance to a real shot. So a lot of times, Talent, if you grab the shield, I'd be right there. Just for the majority of people. They're wrong, but they're the majority. It's like America. So, what I mean by that is like feinting for distance. This is another thing where a lot of times people in my career have been like, wow, Vash, you're fast. Which, like, first off, rhetorical statements, I get it. But also, the reason why shots may seem super fast is because as the player getting me fighting, right, with my opponent, what happens is I am feinting for distance, right? Because what is the shortest, like, what's the shortest distance, right, between a point?
Straight line.
You got A and you got B. What's the shortest distance?
Straight line.
They would tell you that in science class, but it's wrong. The shortest distance is moving A. I'm just gonna move A over here towards B. And what I mean by that is this is A, right? B is where I wanna go. So I can just A to B. First off, fighting wise, Talon's gonna block the crap out of that. That's very predictable. But second off, it's not as fast. Like, they already innately kind of reacted before I was even here, right? And what I mean by moving A, the shortest distance, is what if I took A starting from here and made it here? And now I'm also feinting a shot, playing a more skillful game, but in the idea of speed that you see, my opponents a lot of times, I realize when I talk with them after, to just like gain my own knowledge of what they're perceiving to teach people better, is they only started to see the shot when I was here, right? And so that speed-wise versus this now became that. And so speed-wise, all they saw was a shot started here and they were getting hit in the head. And that's because I moved A. I just feinted towards it, which is going to be a big part of increasing your personal speed. And the idea of it, a lot of people, when I talk to them, like, I feel like there's an argument to be made that that isn't just fast, right? That's going to fall. But it kind of, to me, falls back on those first three things I listed, right? The foundational pillars. And so that's what makes it fast. And so I always like to do the inverse. What you should do as an opponent is start trying to register more, is someone faking me right to do these things? Don't let someone freely move A to get what they want, right? You're just letting them play that game. And, fun fact, counter to something like this, right? A way that you can be fast in response is, what if Talon, when I was doing all my fancy, like, I'm really good at this game stuff, just hit me in the freaking arm when I did this? Oh no, the whole plan has gone awry. Anyone can do that because that's a basic chop. But I would say Talon was pretty fast there as well. And that's just Talon responding to something. A lot of times that's what I try to break through to show people about letting someone play their game or being fast, right? If I can get people to just bite and play, let me do what I want, I'm just gonna, like, I'll speed them down. But at any time you can just be like, ah, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, god dang, those foundationals got me killed. And so feigning falls into the next thing, which is, I didn't actually like give that a term. I call it free-throwing. And so free-throwing is the idea of, I want to go here, I know it in my heart and soul, so I'm free-throwing. And also, we're gonna get in a little bit of anatomy of body mechanics here, my like history of loving body mechanics and how it translates to fighting. What am I doing here? I'm rolling, I already start rolling my wrist to drive down to here. So I'm already making those body mechanics momentum of how I'm moving my hips to get to the point I want to go to. There are like little setups that I'm doing because I know it's where I want to go that I'm helping with. Your opponents, I will tell you, people are not going to see that even at like the highest level. It's like you're imperceptible, right? That I'm like doing like little hip things here. In the middle of combat with your opponent, you're not like, what's that hip doing? Like, that's club behavior, not here. And so another way to be faster in that sense is what I call like range lying. And so that's faking out where your opponent thinks you are. And so one of the things that I'll do a lot is I'll do tester shots all the way out here. And I'm just like getting the range down. I'm like that. I know Talon's hand is now exactly here, right? And so for me, I'm not gonna be in a lethal area, but I've gotten that down. So now I know that we can fight here and do some of this stuff. And people will be like, a lot of times I'll fight people and they'll be like, can, and I'm like, yeah, you ain't caught on yet. You don't know what's happening. Like, I'm actually setting up the box. Like these are like expected. Like I've even nodded at people sometimes. They're like, hand. I'm like, yeah, that should be correct. Because I'm like, gotta zero in. And then once I know that person where they like to stand, where I hit on hand, I now know that I can kind of like feign that range. I can lie about it and just make them think I'm once again gonna catch their hand, and that's when you step. And so the way to make that fast is because I have gotten you attuned to we are fighting here, And then I'm kind of changing those dynamics. And from the other person's thing though, it just looks like I kind of stayed in the same place and became fast, right? I just flew through whatever was happening. And that once again is how circles all the way back to it being a lie. A lot of what I like to believe, my personal sword fighting, my mantra on it is we are all magicians, and I'm showing you a card trick. And I'm like, is this your card? And Talon's like, no, that is not the King of Spades. I'm like, oh no, what is that? My God, look at it. And so the other thing on is there's like 2 subsections I wanted to cover on this, and they are just things I haven't heard talked about as much that I try to spread, which is material bounce for comboing. It can make you faster. So if I want to hit Talon, once again, we're just gonna keep doing that same thing, right? I wanna go here to here, right? Make Talon think I'm trying to go. Talon's like, damn, I'm good at the game, I blocked. And I'm like, surprise, it was all live the whole time. Magic trick, King of Spades. The whole point of that is that shields are more bouncy, right? And so I can actually, like you see how my sword is doing this? That bounces well. Does not do the same off the hilt. Not getting the same bounce, not as reliable. And it also like hits my wrist where I'm kind of like out of position now because it's actually like a hard object. Whereas this, I can kind of just flow all day. And so using that material to my advantage, recognizing that shields do that, and this is classy dip, that's foam, it does the same thing. But I can now bounce off of that shield reliably. Whereas if I try to reverse that to go over, that don't feel good at all because this like jammed me. As soon as I hit this, my wrist pops off center and I can't re-swing. Whereas like here I can. And so just knowing that bounce, and also the other subsection, the category falls into this shot as well. And like a great teacher, but what we're doing here is we're using material, but we're also following what? What other thing is being utilized in this process?
Moving A.
True, true. I like the reference to previous, but it's a new concept. But I like it. I like where your head's at. All right, I'm gonna blow your minds. Gravity. Gravity makes you faster. You are faster going down than you are going up. And so by utilizing gravity and material, we're going down. It makes us much faster than if I try to bounce off Talon shield here and go back over the top. I have to fight gravity here. I literally have to fight it. I have to move my arm through it. I have to move my sword through it. You see how I move my body just to get that like speed? And I'm gonna tell you right now, like that's not even that fast. Versus here, I can stand still because gravity's doing the work. All I do is just move and then move my wrist with gravity. I'm like, take me away. Foam Jesus, take the wheel. And so thinking about that will help you because a lot of times in say, drop a shield real quick, single sword, right? What if we want to get that arm and then double tap, right? If we want to do it very quickly, or maybe just take a wound, you know, fight our way out, I call them like trade shots sometimes. And I'm like, cool, if I take Talon's arm, I win, and what I'm about to do. But let's say Talon blocks me. All right, well now I will just go for the, I've overcommitted, but I would like to just Simo out this round, and we call it even. And so for this, I'm gonna utilize gravity, right? But I'm also gonna follow it down to double, and I'm gonna get moved. And so if Talon blocks me, here Talon's probably gonna kill me back, but now we can just be like, let's go to the next round. You know what I mean? Let's just Simo that out. If I try to reverse that and throw up, I'm already losing myself. I'm trying to once again fight through gravity, fight through hitting a hill. A lot of factors are working against me versus just getting boxed out and being like, oh no, I'll just go down. And so once again, I will say that is something I know going in. I have chosen this life now. I have gone, I would like to win, and Talon has gone, you are not allowed to. And I go, that's fair. I will now like to trade. Is that available? Do you have any of that in stock? And then Talon will let me know, and sometimes he says no to that too, but you know, he runs a strict business.
Yeah, Talon's cheap, bro.
And so, that's all I had in the notes there. Does anyone have any questions over any of those concepts? We kind of drove through multiple, I had like 3 subsection layers, so. You all completely understand and will now be fast, correct?
No, everyone else will just be slow. Call it even. I think that's what I think.
I don't like it. Just lie to me. Just say it. Just go like I will be the fastest. Just say it.
I will be the fastest.
That's incorrect. I am. But I appreciate it. All right. Thank y'all for listening.
Thank you,
Deuces.
Vash.